Time now for Consumer Confidential with KTLA 5's David Lazarus, who may or may not be on the way to the principal's office. With me later today.
I'm so sorry. You took that really well, I got to say. Really well.
You guys did okay. Hung in there. Let's talk about the strong jobs report.
Yeah, and let's put it in Goldilocks terms. Not too hot, not too cold, but is it too hot? That's the question here. All right, here's the basic numbers. Labor Department out with the November jobs report. 263,000 jobs created last month. That is way ahead of the 200,000 jobs that have been expected by economists. Down a smidge from the 284,000 jobs in the upwardly revised stats that we saw for October. But nevertheless, this is signs of a really strong economy and a really resilient labor market. And normally that's something to brag about. But at the moment, not so much, because after months of rate hikes from the Federal Reserve trying to cool the economy, bring down the highest consumer prices in 40 years, seeing the labor market remaining this strong just kind of raises questions. What more do we have to throw at the economy to get things to settle down a little bit? And that's precisely why Wall Street is having a little bit of a hissy fit today. The Dow down by about 100 points at last check. Earlier it was down even more. The issue here is what comes next in terms of rate hikes. Most people still expect probably a half-point rate hike this month, but up until now, economists have been anticipating quarter-point rate hikes going into the first and second quarters of next year. Now, all bets are off. Could be half-point increases going forward because, quite simply, the economy is just proving too strong, and that's a real issue. But the key red flag here, wages up by about 5% in November from a year before. Higher wages typically incentivize companies to raise prices because they want a piece of that action. On the other hand, higher prices means higher inflation, and you see how we're in a very difficult situation right there. So it's the wage number that the Fed's going to be looking most closely at in weeks ahead.
All right, no surprise here. The real estate market predicted to be tough next year.
Yeah, and we're not really surprised. You're right, because we still have high prices. We have rising mortgage rates. That makes things challenging. But Realtor.com, out with its projections for the housing market for 2023, is anticipating fewer homes being sold as a result of this. How much? Well, they're anticipating that total home sales nationwide down by about 14%. And if so, that would be the lowest number of housing transactions since 2012. Again, we're talking about high prices, we're talking about high mortgages. That impacts both buyers and sellers. But if you're looking to sell, you might have a pretty tough time here in California. California and Florida are expected to be hit hardest by this. According to Realtor.com, they're anticipating that home sales in LA will fall by about 16% next year. In San Diego, down a whopping 27%. In Ventura, down 29%. Up in San Francisco, down by about 13%. However, overall, home prices are expected to go up by more than 5%. So if you're looking to sell, that's a good thing, providing you can find a buyer.
All right, and on that same topic, you're talking about mortgage rates and million-dollar homes?
This is interesting. Million-dollar loans we're talking about here. Now, normally, if you're going to get a mortgage that large, you might have to turn to a jumbo mortgage. And the thing about jumbo mortgages is they're not federally backed, and you have to put more of a down payment to get these things going. But beginning next year, the cap for loans that are backed by the quasi-governmental agencies Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac is going up. And what that means is these federally backed loans will require a lower down payment. So instead of the perhaps 20% down payment you'd have to put down with a jumbo to get a $1 million mortgage, with these new mortgages under these new these higher caps, you might need to put down only about 3% to get a $1 million mortgage. And that's a big, big difference, a big change for a lot of potential home buyers. But keep this in mind. Make sure any loan you get, whether it's for a home, a car, anything else, make sure you can handle the monthly payments, especially if you're putting down a smaller down payment, because that means you're going to have more mortgage on your hands. So that's a factor. Also, always be wary of adjustable rate mortgages, because those can come back and bite you in weeks or rather years ahead as the mortgage recalibrates and oftentimes gets more expensive.